Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. It's my favorite day of the week because it starts off this way. I know it's a little bit later for some of you guys, but it's 8 a.m. where I am. I've got my coffee and I'm ready to plug in and learn this morning. Our guests this morning, Rachel and Dalton are actually good friends of mine. We're in the same mastermind, and I was actually mentioning on one of the our most recent calls that Rachel's like my niece. I feel like she's just the sweetest person, and I guess I have to like Dalton too then because of that. So anyhow, no, Dalton's a great guy. I think Dalton is the more techie of the two of them, and he's probably gonna take the lead on this. But when they showed me when we were talking about how you can get Google reviews to automatically, without doing anything yourself, post on your Facebook profile, I was like, wait, what? That is super slick. So I thought you guys have got to come back. They do. They were here a few weeks ago. I mentioned that, and they talked to us about their community cards and how they showed us all how to do marketing and advertising as a realtor for free, and not only just for free, but you can actually make money on the card if you choose to do that. That was a couple of weeks ago. If you guys want to go back and look at that, it's on our YouTube channel. That'll be in the information that drops. But today we're talking about Google reviews. So you guys unmute and I will make you co-host so you can, share your screen and give us all the good information. You are muted, so unmute yourself, Rachel and Dalton.
There we go.
Yeah, thanks for saying that you like me by association. I appreciate that.
Thanks,
I
Aunt
like
Debbie.
you too.
Rachel is awesome. I can't deny
She is. Okay. So
Yeah.
you guys tell us what you got going on. Tell us like I was so excited when I heard this because like we're all busy. I was chatting with Diane kind of at the very beginning of this call and she's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so busy. You can't believe how many people are calling me telling me to come list their house." Like I love hearing that. But this is something that can really help her grow her business. Someone like her who's super busy, like doing it automatically, her not having to touch anything, that is so cool. So I know it can help all of us, but kind of give us the deal. What is it?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's kind of in our name, Big Sky Automation Services. So we're all about automation and how important that is. So you hit the nail on the head. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And Debbie, I shared with you in a private message the link that we're going to be sharing today. So you've got that, and I will get this pulled up here.
Sweet.
Let me get this out of the way.
Yep, there you go.
All right.
Awesome. So today we're going to be talking about how we can actually turn Google reviews into reoccurring revenue. So we built a system that pretty much can, and I'll kind of go in more detail, that can post automatically to your social accounts. It can also have like dynamic a chat widget on your website posting 5-star only reviews. So let's go ahead and dive into it. All right. So who we are, I'm Dalton. So I used to be an automation instructor at a university. So I taught like robotics and PLCs. And Rachel was a histotechnician. And then when she moved out of that, she went into medical staffing, marketing. So that's kind of our background, why we chose to go down the path of marketing and automation.
So yes, he is the tech guy.
So to kind of talk about, so the problem isn't your service, it's your proof. So most people, they don't believe what you say about yourself, because it's hard to sell yourself to a customer that's got no trust. They don't know you. They don't know, like, and trust you like the common. And then when strangers see you on Google versus your competitor, I mean, who looks safer to call somebody with 50 reviews or somebody with 2 reviews, and say the 50 reviews is a 5-star and the 2 reviews that you got are maybe 2 4-stars. So I think the person with more social proof is going to win that one. All right. And then let's kind of talk about why Google is king right now. So Google is the #1 website in the world. Also, Google does favor its features first, like Google Ads and your Google Business Profile. And your Google Business Profile is where you get reviews at. So And the reason why it's so important is because the traffic that's coming through is high intent. They're ready to use a specific service or they're ready to buy. So that's why, like, and I'll tell you why this is so important for high intent with traffic is when you go to Google and you search balloons, you don't just get like a real estate agent that comes up. You don't get a HVAC guy. You're going to get exactly what you search. So you want to be the number one because they're not going to scroll through 10 pages just to find something they're looking for when the first 10 pages do the same service overall. And then number four is people trust who they see first. There's a reason they're first. And like I said, these people don't have a lot of time. They're looking to get their service fulfilled as soon as possible. So let's kind of talk about the hidden cost of low review counts. So you could be losing to competitors. You might have old negative reviews that are low star, impacting you, and they still define you because you don't have enough positive reviews to average out that star count. If you can't be found, yeah, it's hard to get. So it's hard to build trust if you can't be found. Or some people might be relying on luck and word of mouth. And especially if you're in real estate, you want to get that lead when it's coming in hot because they don't come too often unless you're number one on Google. So let's kind of talk about what Google reviews do. So they drive traffic and trust. So the great thing about Google reviews, and we'll dive a little bit later and I'll show you exactly how it works on a Google business profile. They do help with SEO. So Google will pull keywords out of reviews as long as the consumer is being as specific as possible. So if you go to a burger joint and they're like, this is a great burger, like now you say great burger near me, and I'll show you in a later slide what that looks like. But you'll be pulling up SEO just off of what they typed. So that's great. And then first impressions matter. If you're a 5-star and you got 400 reviews, yeah, you probably provide awesome customer service. You're good at what you do, and others liked working with you. So that'll be more of an incentive for them to actually make the call and use your service. The great other thing is that Google rewards engagement. So the more reviews and more active you are on your account and your Google business profile, the more you'll show up at the top and beat your competitors. And the more you show up at the top, the more organic calls you get. So that's not spending more money on ads or anything like that. You're just getting free traffic from Google because you're using their systems. So like I said, you don't need more paid ads. You need a review machine. So this is kind of what our system does. So all you have to do is send a request. Our system sends follow-up emails and nudges or SMS text messages. Then it turns any review that comes in, if it's a 5-star rating and above, it turns that into content for your website and your social media, which is awesome and a great time saver. And then at the end of the day, our system actually has a process where we can redirect unhappy customers before problems go public, and there's a chance to get them privately. So, like I said, so our system, it pretty much makes Google a central location, and you can have all your tracking analytics. You can link your Google business profile in the system, and then you can respond without logging in, which is really cool. We'll kind of go in a little bit later where AI can actually respond to every review, and I'll show you one in an upcoming slide of how that looks. Second, all you got to do is ask for the review. So, and then our system handles the rest. It'll nudge them, it'll follow up with them, and then our system also has it where you can generate a QR code if you wanted to basically have QR codes in person to get people to scan and get reviews as well.
Yeah, so if you're in person with the customer, you can just pull up your phone, have the QR code ready to go, and then the system takes care of the rest. So what Dalton is saying here is that it is completely automated. Everything is just one click of a button, and then you don't have to do anything with it. It will continue the follow-up sequence to get those reviews and then automatically post to your socials.
Yeah. Sweet. And then here's kind of like the follow-up system, just to give you a little bit of an eye that you can see on it. So the first day, right after the service, you can pretty much just say, hey, would you recommend us to friends and family? And then a gentle reminder, and then a last chance nudge. But what's great is if they respond, the sequence stops. So you're not going to keep bugging them after they actually say, hey, you guys were great. I'd love to leave a 5-star review. And the great part is you don't have to hire a human to do this. There's no human error. It's all handled on the back end. It's automated. So the system remembers, so you don't have to rely on staff remembering this process. Cool. And like I said, this is kind of the system where we built out where we're trying to redirect poor experiences with services because it's going to happen. You can't be 100% all the time. So I have to do the quick satisfaction check of asking how their experience was. You can ask if they were happy, and then it'll redirect them to Google. And if they were unhappy, It'll redirect them to a private form on a landing page that will basically get customer feedback, and it'll handle it privately. So, like I said, you're not gaming the system, you're solving the problems before they go public on the internet.
Yeah, and this is just a way that if something happened that you weren't aware of, if something was a misunderstanding, it gives you the opportunity to make it right with the customer so that it could potentially turn into a 5-star review and you can actually solve their problem for them. Like Dalton said, it's not gaming the system. You're not trying to trick Google or your customers and only get 5-star reviews. You're just trying to catch the unhappy ones and see if you can improve their experience.
Yeah, and I'll go over, I have a slide ahead that talks about review gating, and that's basically where you're trying to pick and choose who leaves your reviews, and Google does not like that. Okay, and then the last step of the process, this is how we can turn reviews into ongoing content and testimonies. So we provide a live chat widget that can actually go on a website and it'll pull Google reviews dynamically. So as they come in, it'll actually pull the most relevant reviews for you. You don't have to touch this. This is just live, and it works with API keys between Google and the system that we built. So you're not touching anything when, like, as soon as they post something, as soon as you send out the request and you get the review, guess what? The system is making sure other people know what you do and how you serve them and the best shade of light for your company. Secondly, like I said, it highlights the best reviews. And third, it auto posts to either your Google Business profile or your Facebook. And who does not want live testimonies with no hands-on being posted to your Facebook?
Automatically.
Automatically. Yeah.
That's the best part.
No human error can happen. It's awesome. So what's the results? It's free, authentic content written by real customers, and it'll build trust if you show up online consistently. Awesome. So I kind of want to show you what a Google review looks like. If you haven't seen one, I'm sure you have, and then what the Facebook post below it looks like. So at the top, you've got the review from the customer, and imagine, having a live testimony posting without even having to think about it. So imagine others vouching for your hard work on Facebook, and all you had to do was get the review. That's it. If you ask them, the system will take care of the rest. And then all you're doing is just feeding a machine at that time so you can rank #1 on Google. It's a super cool system. And on the left-hand side, you can actually see the Facebook post that was created by the system from the review on the above. Super clean looking, it's formatted, and you can actually change the background to make it more branded towards your company. So tons of, variety when it comes to making that Facebook post look more branded to your company.
And I want to point out this here, this is an AI response. So when Dalton says that, the AIs are responding to the reviews, this is what he means. So it's done automatically. You can set it to do it. If a review is left, it can do it within 1 minute, 5 minutes, 20 minutes, however you want that to look like. And it actually pulled out the customer's name. So this was Marilyn, and it pulled out the customer's name thanking her. And it pulled out exactly what she said that she had a good experience with. And it says she mentioned that they were delivered on time. The AI mentioned that it was delivered on time. And it just says, we appreciate your support and look forward to collaborating with you again in the future. So it is a fully custom response to the customer's review. It's not just some generic response. It does a really, really good job of making it feel custom and personal.
Yeah. All right, so this is where I told you I was gonna show you how the SEO actually works when it comes to Google reviews that are left. So I typed in best burger near me. This is in Montana, Missoula. So if you're wanting to know where this is at, you can look it up there and find the same list. But yeah, let's see what people on the right hand are saying about this burger joint and why it won. So look at the free SEO. The comment literally says the best cheeseburger I've ever had in my life. Who doesn't want that on their page from an actual stranger? And then you've got out, you pull the most perfectly created burger you've ever felt.
That one blew me away. I don't know why they're feeling the burger so much rather than eating it, but it's great SEO. It's working.
Yeah, if somebody needs a nice feeling burger, they're gonna win the SEO game here. And then the burgers are insanely good. So reviews are huge. Like, you don't have to pay a marketing agency to make blog posts for you, to keep your content relevant and fresh. Why not have customers do that for you? And like I said, Google Google favors their features first. So your Google business profile is so important to start building up now. So that way, when organic searches come through, guess what? you're winning the game every time because now you've got hundreds of testimonies for you, and it's all working on the back end as long as you're feeding the machine.
And just to give you guys an example of something like real life that happened with us, we were in Port Angeles, Washington, and since it's so close to Canada, we have to look for poutine. So I Googled poutine in Port Angeles, Washington, and one of the first restaurants that came up, it was a place called, I actually don't even remember, but they had great poutine. And it was actually in the reviews that people were mentioning the poutine. They didn't have it on the menu. It was like some secret item. So people were mentioning it in the reviews, so we went there and we asked for it. So that is a really good example of how we found something that's not necessarily advertised on their website through a Google review.
Yeah, and for Google reviews, don't think of this as like you have to make a purchase with somebody to, or they have to make a purchase with you to ask them for a review. I mean, if you're helping them in any way, shape, or form through your company and any way you're representing yourself in a helping passion, ask them to describe the experience on Google and make it as genuine as possible. Like we always say, always lead with a helping hand because that's where you're going to get the most value and appreciation out of people, especially if you help for free. I mean, it all come back tenfold. So don't be afraid to ask them even if you just help them and didn't close the sale to get a review. They still matter. All right. And then Rachel kind of already went through this, but this is where responding to reviews is important. So Google will favor you the more active you are and the more reviews you respond to. But what if AI could do it for you? So our system has AI respond to the review. And like I said, Google rewards this. So on the left-hand side, to go through a little bit quick again, it referenced the actual user's first name in the response. It referenced the worker that was working at Lynn Pro and gave them a great experience. And it also referenced the shirts and bags. How cool is that? This person doesn't even know this review was even written, and because this system took care of it. I mean, who doesn't want automation like this?
Yeah.
All right, so to kind of talk a little bit about review gating, this is where you're picking and choosing who leaves a Google review. And Google can find out. I don't know how. I'm not a Google
They
master, and
find out
yeah, but
everything.
they are the seeing all eye. But if they do find out, they can suspend your account, and you don't want to do this because then nobody can find you. And don't let your competitors start getting your leads. Perfect. And then this is just kind of an illustration to show you guys the impact of how 200 reviews with 5-star ratings and then 1-star reviews with 5 of those active on your account can average you out to a 4.9 star rating. But let's say you have a small profile with 25 5-star reviews and 5 1-star reviews. Look, you're down to a 4.3 just because they average over. So let's say you've got upset employees, like old employees or past employees, and you've got angry customers. These people can go and leave a review, and sometimes there's nothing you can do about it. Google will just make you eat it because they're not going to go ask your employee or an old customer. I've even seen in cases where competitors did the bad work, and then that company had to actually take the heat for it. And they're like, I never serviced you or anything like that. So I'm sorry you had such a bad experience, but it happens. And Google doesn't, they can't come verify. They're not going to come to your house and do the investigation there.
Yeah.
It's not that deep for them.
Yeah.
So that's why it's really important to build up your profile in the long run.
Yeah. And so what Dalton's saying is that a lot of times reviews are put on profiles mistakenly or out of malicious intent.
Yep.
And it's really hard to get those reviews removed. And it could just be the reality of not everybody is going to be happy with your service. There are unreasonable people out there. Maybe it was a misunderstanding and you're going to get negative reviews. So the more reviews that you can continue to request and automate, then the bigger your profile is going to get, the less affected that you will be by those negative reviews.
Yep. And then I pretty much want to help you guys, even if the system isn't for you. Please go and download this review audit checklist. I mean, this will tell you exactly where you're at. And then I also got hints in there on how you can actually improve and get your profile looking 10 out of 10. So this is completely free. This is just to, basically help you in the long run that even without the system, you can still do this.
And for anybody on your phone, I will stop sharing and I'm going to put the link in the chat so you
Yeah.
guys can grab it there too.
This is super cool. So, anyone, I haven't gone through the chat, but does anyone have any questions specifically about this for Rachel and Dalton? And Rachel, also the somebody private messaged me and asked to have you put your contact information in the chat. I actually think what you just did with the auto or the free audit is probably a good way for them to reach out to you. But
Yeah.
Jose, Jose, you're muted if you're trying to talk to us. Jose, there you go.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yes.
Great presentation.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
I must have missed it. Did you say how much you charge?
For this service, it's
Yes.
$297 a month.
I'm sorry, what?
It's $297 a month.
Okay, got it.
Mhm.
You do a lot of work.
Thank
Well,
you,
can you
Jose.
just imagine, like, if you got one extra deal per year, that would pay, like, I think one extra deal per 2 or 3 years would actually pay because of the amount of the real estate commission, right? So if someone contacted you and followed through and closed a deal with you once every 2 or 3 years, it would completely pay for that. And I think with everything that they do, it's going to happen a lot faster. You're going to close a lot more than one extra deal every 2 or 3 years.
Yeah,
Um,
good point, Debbie.
and Karen asked if there is an annual prepay that has a discount. She always loves a discount.
Yes, Karen, there is, and we can get that information to you. So if you want to book a call with us, we can talk about that with
Yeah,
you.
that link you can book a call with us as well.
Yep.
For the lead magnet as well.
Great question, Karen.
Yep.
Excellent. Tushar.
Hey, hi, good morning, guys. Really great presentation, Rachel sir and ma'am. I just wanted to ask, like, recently the AI, Google AI is there, Gemini is there. So a lot of things are changed in SEO and ranking. So
Yep.
how you are configuring the same? What are your thoughts? And it's really hard to because right now people are using Alexa, they're using different models, they're using ChatGPT. So, do you have any system where we can implement and get the results from for the real estate? Thank you.
Yeah, so that's a good question. And you're right. ChatGPT, AI, all that is definitely coming in hot. And the good thing about reviews is that it will actually rank with AI as well. So the more reviews that you have on your Google Business profile, that's kind of what those AI search models are looking for. So if you have 500 five-star reviews, the AI is going to grab that and pull it out.
Excellent. You know, I actually have a
Thank you.
question. And oh, wait. So Rick Pitzer has a question and can't figure out how to raise his hand. So, Rick, go for it.
Couple questions. I read that it's really important to ask your clients to put the address, like I'm a painter as well. And so Google wants you to put Rick at All Star Painting, did a great job painting my house at 123 Banana Street. I never can get them to do that. And Google also would like a picture of the house if possible. They don't want to do that. Everybody is so freaked out by Google. And then two, that makes them have a Gmail address. I miss so many reviews because customers don't have a Gmail address, and I'm not going to go create another blah, blah, blah. I get that all the time. So I miss out on those reviews. So I was wondering if you could address those two things. And then you wrote in your presentation, don't do this, Google doesn't like it. And you had like big sky and I guess liked and didn't like and frowny face or whatever. Was that
Yeah.
what you were talking about? Because I hired a company to do my SEO years ago out of Canada. I'm trying to think of the name of it. And they were the gatekeeper, where the customer, if they did give me a 1 star, of course it didn't get posted. I never understood how they did that, but they were doing what you were saying that is good to do, but you said don't do it. So I'm confused about that part. And then lastly, realtors. If you go look, 99% of realtors do not have a Google business page. And I've been talking to a lot of them lately as to why. And they say they tried, but Google will never verify them, something to do with their home address or something, I forget. But I see that a lot.
Yeah.
Anyway, those are some of the questions that comes to mind right away.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously you can't force somebody to leave a review if they want to. So this is going to be a numbers game. So if they don't have a Gmail address, I mean, you can't say like there's pretty much nothing you can do. It's out of your hands, you know. You can only do what you can control. But yeah, in terms of what you were talking about for your SEO company, and I was talking about review gating with the actual like sad face, neutral face, and happy face. So review gating is where you're picking and choosing who you're sending it to. And then what we do is actually redirect it. So it's not the same. And Google, like this, it's the only workaround that I know of right now that Google actually does not slap your hand. And you're just basically making an attempt to either send them straight to Google if they had a great experience, or you're making the attempt to handle the actual disgruntled and customer privately behind closed doors, support forums and stuff like that. But the process is basically when you send out the review request, you're sending them a experience chart, whether it was like one star through 5 star, or were they happy, not happy. And at that point, you're able to redirect them. If they did a happy face, they go straight to Google, like, and it opens up the review page for them. They can type in immediately, or it takes them to a landing page that is private to your company in an online form submission where they can actually put their concerns that they have with their experience, and it goes directly and only to you. Now, we can't stop anybody from leaving a bad review. However, we can redirect it. And I don't remember the last question you asked. I'm so sorry.
It was the one about realtors not having a Google business page because they struggle to get it set up with Google.
Yeah. So, I mean, Google business pages, they're free, so it's no cost. I mean, we help with setup if that's something that somebody's interested in looking into. I know, I mean, you can do it. I've seen real estate investors who don't have a company or an office make a Google business profile. Um, there are certain things you need to have in place, like actual business cards. You don't have to have a location, but if you have like a logo sign, they want to see something that you're trying to actually be a business entity, and not just making up gibberish on the spot and submitting them, because they'll actually make you submit photos and video if required.
Yeah. And to tell you a little bit more about that, our company is ran out of our home office. So when we did our Google Business Profile verification, we just had to like make sure that we had a sign on our front door that had the name of our company, and you can even print that on a piece of paper. You can use a yard sign and tape it up. It does not have to be fancy. It does not have to be an actual sign or legitimate. And then sometimes they'll ask for like a video. And so they just want to verify that you're you, that there's a sign on your front door, and maybe you have some business cards nearby that you can show Google that says like, your name, realtor, your phone number, your contact information, all that good stuff. And then you don't have to publish your personal address. So if you're a realtor and you're operating out of your home,
Yep.
you put your address in there, and then you don't have to publish that. So it is still possible to get that up and going.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thanks, guys.
Mhm.
We'll go to Dean. I'm going to go back and forth between chat and real people. So, Dean, you're next.
Thanks, Debbie. Hey, I really got a lot out of your last conversation with us, and I've actually created my community postcard sample and everything. So
Wonderful. I love that, Dean.
you really inspired me. My question for you is this. I do have a Google page. I have not been responding to my positive Google reviews because although I did originally verify when I set up my page and I had to jump through hurdles, it just won't let me verify. It's just making it so difficult. And as a realtor, I can give some tips to others. I don't know if it's YouTube or wherever you can get some guidance of how to verify, but as a realtor, they say it's better to give an area instead of a specific address.
Mhm.
And that way you don't really get stuck in in the verification process. However, it's just I've got 2 or 3 reviews sitting there right now that I'm just not able to get verified, so I can't respond to them. But my question to you guys is: Are you um, are you considering moving to you know, automating someone's Google page reviews when someone goes to their, you know, whatever it is, their website or whatever. This seems kind of the heavy lifting is to get the Google review, right? I mean, that's the hard part. And then routing it and automating it, I would think is something definitely beyond my technical experience. But it just seems almost $300 a month for a realtor
And you
uh,
have,
for the part after I get the review seems kind of steep for me.
Hmm.
Yeah, so our system actually, all you have to do is get the email and click one button, and we show you the button, and then it starts the automation process. You don't even have to ask them. Like, we have the whole structure set up to where, as if you get the contact information, it can be sent out with a click of a button. We've made this super simple and easy. This isn't just waiting for you to like send them and direct them to Google. We handle all the directing for you.
And let's say that you have like a list of customers that you've worked with in the past. We can actually upload a list of them into the system and send out all of those review requests to your past customers
Yes,
as well to try and build up your reviews.
So this could be for somebody who hasn't even left a Google review then. If I'm
Mhm.
just
yes,
sending you their contact information, what you're doing is connecting to my professional business page of Facebook. Is that right?
correct, correct.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so you
Thank
guys
you.
just understand that their system not only posts the reviews that you get, but it also helps you get those reviews. That's the one thing I think that Dean was missing is
Hmm.
their system will do the automation to reach out to your customers, your clients to actually get a review. And I want you guys to think about this. There's a lot of different things that you can get a review for. A lot of realtors wait until the deal is closed before they think about getting a review. You don't have to do that. You can ask for a review about how your CMA was. Maybe they didn't choose to use you, but they loved your CMA. They loved what you presented to them. They chose not to sell their house, but they really loved working with you. You can get a review for that. You can get a review for anything. It doesn't have to just be a closed deal. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about where to get your reviews. You can also get reviews from other realtors. I want to tell you, if I pass a referral, and I have 3 referrals out right now myself, when those referrals close, I'm going to go give the realtor that my clients worked with a review about how it was for me to work with that realtor passing the review. So truly think outside the box and not just about closed deals. Okay, so I said I was going to go back and forth, and the next question is, what if you're part of a team? And so, Rachel and Dalton, I don't know how much you know about real estate. I know you're investing, but realtors often work on a team, and sometimes the team gets reviews, not just the realtor. So that's kind of the question.
Yeah, you could set up the Google Business profile for like the team as a whole, and then the reviews can mention each realtor specifically, like if the customer or the review leaver chooses to. So it could be absolutely set up as a team, and then all the realtors kind of just would funnel into that.
Gotcha. Perfect. Dean, were you done? Because your hand's still up. Okay, perfect. AJ.
I have a question for you guys. Or I have two. So with you guys using AI, are you worried about like the younger generation or younger people like being wary of you guys using that? And then the second part of that is I didn't see or I didn't like hear you guys say like what AI are you guys are using? Like are you guys using your own system or are you guys using like chat or like Gemini or Claude or some version of that?
Yeah, so the AI is actually built into the CRM, and you can choose like the tone that you want it to respond in, friendly, professional, happy, all that good stuff. So you can have it match your brand, how you really would respond. And then remind me of your first question.
So with it was about like younger folks, so like I would say like from like millennial and then Gen Z and then a little bit of maybe like Gen Y. People are starting to avoid AI just because of like environmental impact and such.
Mhm.
Uh and are you guys worried about that and how is that for marketing and stuff? Because like with that like that side of it.
Yeah, I think everything that we see on the AI side is extremely positive, especially when it means that you have to do one less thing. So I think that from like a business owner perspective or an entrepreneur perspective, the odds are in the favor of AI. So we haven't really seen anybody feeling too negatively about it just yet, but that is something to think about. This is a good point.
Yeah, no, great question. I'll jump in on this as well. So I would say when it comes to text-based AI, I mean, sometimes it's easy to tell, sometimes it's not. But definitely when it comes to video, it's hard to have that human connection. Because some AI videos, I mean, they just look ridiculous.
Mhm.
So I don't see there being anything hindering in terms of when it comes to text-based and like something so small like a Google review response. Um, I can't see this making a huge impact like other AI services because to make a video, I mean that uses a lot more resources than textual base.
Awesome.
Okay, so the
Thank you so
next,
much.
You're
sorry,
welcome.
AJ. So the next chat is actually from Trina. She's one of my agents, and I'm going to say, Trina, book a call with them because I love these two, and I know they'll help you with this. She's struggling getting her Google profile
Yep.
verified. And so, yeah, just book a call with them, Trina,
Yep.
and they're going to help you through that. Now, the
Okay.
next,
Absolutely.
Yeah, my business page is up and running, but I just can't do the quote unquote Google verified.
Yeah.
Probably because I've never run ads and don't have a payment in there. So,
Yeah. Yep. We can definitely take a look at that with you.
okay, thank you.
You're
Awesome.
welcome.
okay, so Yvonne says she just Googled the best agent near me and several came up sponsored. What is that? Are they paying? The answer
Yeah.
is yes, but I'll let Dalton give you the details.
Yeah. So anything that says like it'll say in white text at the top left, and you can find this with any local service like HVAC, plumbing, roofing, real estate. Anything that says sponsored, people are paying for that. So anytime somebody clicks on that, they're getting charged, and it's cost per click. And then below that, that's when you'll actually start to see a map pack, and that's for Google Business Profiles. That's what that little 2D map on the right hand side that actually pinpoints locations for you. But yeah, so the people that pay for it they're going to show up first, but I mean they're dumping money into it. It's not
Mhm.
cheap to run Google Ads. So imagine being right after Google Ads, your spot being taken up on the map pack right there. I mean, you're getting shown first before there's even any URLs being shown.
So
So
Dean,
that's why.
can I ask you, is there any research found that if you can dump a few bucks into them ever so often and then get off, like 3 months, a quarter, get off for a while and then dump some more, like you tease Google or Facebook, is that helpful?
Well, we always recommend
Sure you
doing
do.
doing it consistently, especially with ads. A lot of people do kind of do it seasonally, but they don't see the same results as if they were to do it all year round. That is when Google is really going to test and measure what is ranking in your area. So if you're spending just a little bit of money on Google Ads, and we've seen this ourselves with some of our clients, where they're just putting in a little bit for like the summer season or a little bit for the winter season, and then they backtrack. Well, Google doesn't have enough time to learn what people are searching for and what's going to make you come up. So you're eventually just going to like maybe just almost make it and then fall off and then
Yeah.
like just make it and fall off. So it
Well,
is something that would need to remain consistent.
And I'll kind of just jump in a little. So Google actually runs for Google Ads on a bidding system. So
yeah.
whoever's willing to bid more will actually win that lead, and they'll actually show up more consistent until their budget is gone.
Okay.
So if you're only throwing a few bucks in at a time, and you might have somebody big in town who's just ready to, you know, spend their whole actual bank account just to acquire a customer because they know what their break-even point is. But you might be competing with somebody who's got a higher cost per click.
So then
And oh
my
sorry,
next
go ahead.
My next question would be, is it better to go through your CRM system that's hooked up to all your different all your different platforms so it massages a little bit of everything everywhere? Is it better to go through your CRM system and buy ads?
So are you saying like to run Google ads through your CRM or
No,
something else?
no, just any type of ads, like using your CRM Lofty or a Bold or something like that to run your ads for some of your open houses and things like that. This could be getting away from Google a little bit, but my question is it feeding into the Google and into the Facebook? Would it work better that way or not? I'm going to leave it
Yeah,
at that.
yeah, I'd say it's truly like, so if you're running ads, it doesn't favor your account unless you're directing them. Like your whole funnel has to be structured directing them to where you want the funnel to go. So if you
Thank
build
you.
ads and you're getting customers and you're directing them back with a review, then that's going to build your account and massage it. But Google Ads and your Google Business Profile don't go hand in hand because they're two different systems.
Mhm. And something that I want to add about the sponsored ads, some customers know that sponsored means paid, and the ones that do know that, skip them.
Yep.
They know that that person is paying to be at the top, so they don't always trust it.
Great info. Thank you. Thank you,
You're
Debbie.
welcome.
You're welcome.
Okay, Rick, your hand's up again.
Yeah, I would like to touch on what Rachel was just talking about. So I'm finding that most customers, even if they do know, I don't think they know because I appear at the top of organic. And now I'm doing ads. That's all I get is Google ads. I'm paying, I don't get any calls that are not Google ads. Even people just looking for a job,
Yeah.
constantly I'm getting that as well. So it's killing me to do the Google ads when I would have gotten a lot of those organically and not had to pay for it. I'm still doing it, but it's very disappointing. It was a side effect I wasn't expecting.
Rick, you can actually put in negative keywords on Google Ads to like you can say like minus hiring or jobs, and that will actually deter people from calling you about job openings. So just a little tip. I hope that kind of helps rein in your budget a little bit on that.
I don't mind. I want those people calling. I just don't,
Okay.
I just
There
don't
you
want
go.
to pay for that.
Right.
It's not a lead, it's just
Right.
Right.
for a job. So
Exactly.
Okay, so somebody asked if you guys would drop the link in the chat again to book a call with you. And Rachel, hopefully you'll share the chat because Gary wants you to call him or to make an appointment with him.
Okay.
There's that. All right, so did we get to everybody's questions? And this was I didn't even realize that we went so far past the time. I don't think we're going to get a breakout room in. So there's only 9 minutes left, you guys, and we usually do 10-minute breakout rooms. So does anybody have any other questions that we didn't address? I'm kind of going back through the chat here. And there's some great points. Dean said that he has asked people for reviews when he has a great walkthrough. And Bill Gross, you guys saw Bill Gross a couple of weeks ago. He says he asks for reviews when he has them on his podcast. And it actually helps his sales business because they're just reviews in general. And he said over half of his reviews are from other agents. So there you go. I mean, and Bill told us last week, 2 weeks ago, how crazy busy he was. So you guys get that. It's an amazing thing. All right, think I think I got all the questions in the chat. Rick, you're up again. But you have to unmute.
yes,
There
I'm
you go.
sorry. I had to mute myself. I want to set up another Google business page for my realtor. I've got one for the painting, but I keep hearing in webinars or somewhere that it's super important to be careful about how you set up that Google business page. I think it had something to do with branding. I can't remember. I don't know if it's just a way to get me to subscribe to the service so that they can help me and make some money on it, or does it not matter? Should I just go set that thing up myself right now and hurry up and get it done? I'm not
So
asking the question properly, but It's a centered around, can I do it myself, or should you hire somebody to get maximum benefit?
So what are they warning you about as far as setting up a second Google business profile?
It's been a while since I heard it, so I can't remember. I think it was around branding, but I'm not certain. It could have been a million different things.
Yeah.
Christy Ramage is one that does Google training. I'm not sure if that's where I got it, but I've heard a couple times that you should hire somebody to set up your Google business page to do it correctly. Otherwise, it could really hinder you. And I'm not sure what those reasons were. I'm sorry, I've forgotten.
Well, I'm
That's
just
okay.
I'm gonna chime in just for a minute, and I'm gonna say that yes, there is validation behind hiring somebody to do it for you, because just like um, if I were not a realtor, I would want to hire a realtor to help me through that transaction. I don't want to paint my house. I'm going to hire you to paint it, right? Because you know what you're doing. You know how to put the tape up and do all the best practices. So yeah, sure, it's something that you can do yourself. I can paint my house myself if I want to too, but I don't want to. I want it done right. I don't want it to be sloppy. And so I think something for that is so important to you, to your real estate business, to actually getting business, setting up your Google My Business profile, um, is something that is valuable, and would do yourself well by having someone who is an expert at it actually do that. So you guys can chime in more if you want, but that's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, that's a good point, Debbie. Like Dalton said, Google is the #1 website, so you want to make sure that it's optimized for what Google wants. And it's just kind of between, do you want to learn how to do that, or do you want to pay somebody? Dalton and I pay people for a lot of different things because we don't want to learn it.
Yeah, you either got time or money.
Yeah.
Whichever one you're more resourced with,
Yeah.
I would use it.
There you go. There you go. All right. So anybody else have any other questions? Wow. Okay. Well, um, this has been an amazing presentation, and I'm gonna just turn the spotlight off so we can see everyone. Um, you guys have probably seen my little pup, but she just jumped up in my lap. She had to be with her mom. So look, I'm gonna show you my little pup here. Anyhow, I got a new dog, so it's so exciting. Yeah, so drop your contact information in the chat if you have not already. Grab Rachel and Dalton's link so that you can schedule a meeting with them. Just because you schedule a meeting with them does not mean that you have to buy from them, but they're really going to be able to audit your Google profile and show you how they could help you if you choose to do that. So I think that Google audit is so valuable. And Rick, maybe that's just what you want to do, is have them audit um, your painter profile, and give you some suggestions, and then you can decide whether it's valuable enough for you to actually hire them. Um, I love that they come on here and give us all this information for free. So if you choose to hire them separately, that's great, but the information that they have given us is so valuable to growing our business. So thank you, Rachel and Dalton, for being here and doing that. And I saw Dad Steve in here somewhere too for a little while. I don't know if he's still here, but all right, you guys. It is about the top of the hour, so we are going to let you go. Make sure that you've got your contact information in the chat and you are downloading it. Ramjel, who is my VA, just dropped in where to get the recording of it by subscribing to our YouTube channel. And we will see you guys all next week. If this was your first time on this call, I would love it if you would go into the Facebook group and just give a little testimonial about what you saw on the chat, on the call here. I think this is a great way, and we're really light today. We don't have as many people on the call as we usually have. So I would love it if you guys, if you got value out of this, would go into the Facebook group, Or if you found us on Meetup, go in there and write a review of what you heard here today. That would be amazing. So thank you, everyone. We will see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.